Hello, 8th grade parents and students, and welcome to the LaPorte High School Connect Fair and High School Planning presentation. I'm sorry we missed you if you were not able to make it to our Connect Fair, but I hope you find this information helpful as you're choosing classes for next year. First of all, let me just introduce some of us here at the high school that you're going to see around campus next year. Our principal is Mr. Grammer. My name is Mrs. Brooks. I'm the associate principal here at the high school. And we have four assistant principals. Their names are Mrs. Carter, Mrs. George, Mr. Joseph, and Mrs. Martinez. We also have several counselors that will be here to guide you and help you as you navigate your way through high school. Mrs. Galvan is our lead counselor, and she works a lot with our ACE and dual enrollment students. We also have Miss Arrington, Miss Cummings, Miss Hawthorne, Miss Norton, and Mrs. Sadler. Okay, by this time, all of you eighth graders should have received a LaPorte ISD educational planning guide for next school year. And there is a digital version also available on the website. This educational planning guide will follow you for all 4 years of high school. You will use this as your guide for your course selections and for your degree plan and any information in here that you might need about high school. For high school planning, I know that Mrs. Galvan and Mrs. Alfaro came and spoke with you in your classes at the junior high schools, but here are just some reminders as you are getting ready to come to high school and you're choosing your classes. So, in high school, our classes that you take, when you complete them, you earn credits. Those credits are earned in half credit increments. You get a half credit for each semester of a class that you take, as long as you make a 70 or better. And since you take 7 classes each semester, you can earn up to 7 credits for the whole year. Like I said, we're on a semester system, so those are averaged each semester, and your semester grades can get averaged for the whole year for a final average for year-long courses. Classification, you are placed or classified in a grade level, ninth, 10th, 11th, or 12th, or I know you've probably heard the terms freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. This is based on how many credits you earn. So when you come in next year, you will be a ninth grader or a freshman, and you have to earn at least 6 credits to move up and be a sophomore the next year, which means you have to be at school in attendance at least 90% of the time in each of your classes and make a 70 or better. And as long as you do that in at least 6 of your classes, hopefully all 7, then you will be a sophomore the next year. But if you do that in less than 6 of those classes, then you will still be classified as a freshman when you come back the next year. So, a few other terms that you need to know in high school are GPA, your grade point average. Points are assigned to the grades that you earn each semester based on how difficult the course is. And those guides are in that educational planning guide for you. And those points are used to add up an average to get your grade point average. This is what you will use when you're applying to college, when you're applying for scholarships, and that sort of thing. Also, your GPA is what is used to determine your class rank. After all of the points are assigned and averaged, then the GPAs are placed in order from highest to lowest to determine your class rank. And then also, you will have a transcript in high school. It's the official record of all your grades and credits that you earn in high school. And so that is where each course that you earn credit for is recorded. So you'll get report cards throughout the year, but then at the end of each semester courses that you earn credit for get added to that transcript. Graduation plans. So you want to build a solid foundation before you leave high school and graduate and go on, whether it's to college or to the workforce or maybe the military. And so you will complete the foundation high school program with endorsement. That is the graduation plan that we recommend for our LaPorte High School students. So you will be taking 4 English, 4 math, 4 science, and 4 social studies classes here at the high school. The state requires you to have 2 foreign language classes, 1 fine art, 1 physical education. That could also be an athletics class, 4 endorsement classes to earn your endorsement, and then 3 additional electives. So that could be more fine arts if that's your thing, like band or trottos, or art or theater. It could also be physical education or athletics if you play a sport, um, all kinds of different things you could use to finish out those electives. So, in addition to the regular foundation graduation plan, you could add the distinguished level of achievement to that. In order to do that, one of your 4 math credits must be Algebra 2. And also keep in mind that Algebra 2 is required to be eligible for automatic admissions if you're in the top 10% of your class. So once your class is ranked senior year, if you're in the top 10%, you are automatically eligible to be admitted to any state school in Texas, or the top 6% for UT Austin. But you have to take Algebra 2 as part of your math credits in order to be considered for automatic admission. You also have to have one of your 4 science credits be an advanced science course. So you also will be picking an endorsement. And like I said, I know that Miss Alfaro and Miss Galvan talked a lot with you about endorsements and what they are and all the different opportunities we have here at the high school. But in case you were out and you missed it, or you didn't make it to the um, Connect Fair to get to see all the cool things in the CTE building, an endorsement is a targeted area of study that's of interest to you that aligns with your future goals. So it's kind of like a major in college, except we're not asking you to pick a major in college just yet. Um, you can change it after your freshman year if it's not for you, if you start out and it's not what you thought it was going to be. But it is a series of related courses that are similar, in that they relate to the same topic. And there is a designated pathway that starts out freshman year and goes all the way through senior year, and those can be found in your educational planning guide. So you must pick an endorsement prior to entering the 9th grade. That is something that's required by the state, and you can earn more than 1 endorsement. The 5 kind of big broad endorsements that you can choose from are STEM, business and industry, arts and humanities, public services, and multidisciplinary. When you get to your course selection form online, you'll notice multidisciplinary is not a choice. That's because multidisciplinary is more of just like an academic endorsement. It doesn't really have any additional specific electives or anything like that's really like a targeted area of interest. And so we didn't that as one of your options for your endorsement starting out your freshman year. We really want you to try something out in one of the other 4 areas. And if that is not interesting to you after your freshman year, then you can switch later if you would like to. But you can see those page numbers right there. That's where you can find out more information about those endorsements in the educational planning guide. We have lots of different programs at the high school. Like I mentioned, our career and technical education, our CTE building houses a lot of our different endorsement areas. Those classes provide hands on coursework and experience in lots of different fields. You learn work skills. You can earn certificates while you're still in high school that will benefit you as you're trying to get a job in the workforce. We have dual enrollment opportunities where you can earn credit for both high school and college at the same time. And we have opportunities for that where you're not earning an entire associate's degree, you're just taking some dual enrollment courses. But then also, we have our ACE program in which you take 60 hours of college courses and graduate with an associate's degree. So, lots of different opportunities, whether it's the workforce you're interested in, learning a trade like welding, or how to fix cars, or how to work on the body of cars, um, or whether you want to go into healthcare, um, or if you're interested in getting ready for college. So, when you do your course selection, you're going to choose your 4 core classes. You also are going to choose a foreign language, a fine art, and an athletics course or PE. And then you're going to choose your endorsement and the program of study you're interested in, which will help determine the first course in your endorsement pathway. So, those are the things you're going to be choosing on your course selection sheet. And you're going to end up with an extra choice or two. Those will be your backup choices, just in case your first choice gets full sometimes, or it doesn't fit in your schedule. We have to go to your backup choice. Things to think about as you're making these choices. We are not going to have schedule changes after the last day of school this year, which is May 25th. This is because in high school, you earn credits, and how you choose your courses affects how we create our schedule for next year and how many staff we need. So once everybody leaves for the summer and that schedule starts to become set in place, changes become very difficult, because then it could mean that we don't have the right staff in order to be able to have some classes. So look at pages 14 and 15 in the Educational Planning Guide for more details on the schedule change policy. So think about things like, do you really love that extracurricular activity or sport you're signing up for? What level of class you feel comfortable taking? And we're going to talk about that next. With the level of difficulty with pre-AP, AP classes, or on-level classes, you need to think about if you want to take a more advanced class, we encourage you to do that. But just think about, do you enjoy the subject? Are you prepared to spend extra time studying, reading, or completing homework? Do you have a lot of other commitments? Maybe you should take some of your classes pre AP or honors or AP, but not others. So maybe you take pre AP or honors classes or AP in subjects that you enjoy, and maybe you take on level classes in some of your other courses so that you're not overwhelmed. Are you good at prioritizing your time and advocating for yourself if you need help? Because you are going to have to be able to prioritize assignments when they're due, and make sure you're getting all of your things done to keep up with your commitments in high school and all of your extracurriculars. And if you do need help or you have questions, you've got to reach out to your teacher and make sure you're asking those questions or coming in for tutorials if you do need help. And do you like to work in groups? Because in lots of our pre AP or advanced or honors courses, they do some group work. Okay, lastly, when you get to high school, you've got to make sure you're making good decisions. Attendance. You've got to be here 90% of the time in order to earn credit. So you can have 100 in the class, but if you don't have good attendance and you're not here enough, then you don't earn credit for that class. Also, your grades are important, because if you don't make a 70 or higher, you don't earn credit in that class. Choose classes that are going to help you towards your future goals, not just classes that all your friends like, because if you don't like the class once you get in there, you might be stuck in a class that's not your favorite. Make sure you talk with the counselors. If you have questions, feel free to email them, call them here at the high school, and ask any questions you have, and review your educational planning guide. Don't forget to get involved when you get here to the high school. I know you might have missed our Connect Fair, but there are so many benefits to being involved in extracurricular activities at school. There are studies that show that students who are involved have improved attendance and academic performance, and it gives you something fun to do aside from just coming to school to do your go to classes and do the academic things. You learn great life skills, and it helps you build your resume when you're applying to colleges. So when you get here in the fall, find something that interests you and find a way to get involved. We look forward to seeing you next year as freshmen here at the high school, and we hope you have a great rest of the eighth grade and a great summer.